Things just got spicy in a CNN segment about the protests going on college campuses against Israel's war in Gaza.
Look, I think the anti-Semitism stuff, particularly Passover, is a big issue. It's a legitimate issue to talk about. It's a serious issue, and I think there's a lot of anti-Semitic stuff going on out there. But when you're saying you're Hamas, when you're praising Hamas, when you're praising Hezbollah, when you're saying you're going to globalize the Intifada.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
I'm going to finish my point. It means you're pro-terrorist. If you were celebrating Hamas, you're a pro-terrorist.
I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying,
that's my point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there are selective quotes that are being taken, often not from students themselves. In the encampments in Colombia, they have said this. There are Jewish students who are actually part of this. And they are being used to say, wait, let me just...
You didn't let me finish my point.
No, that's true. But and just would say more broadly, when people are calling for action, like Representative Gottheimer, what are they actually calling for? You've already had police go on...
If the people in those encampments, whether they're Columbia students or not, if the university can clear them from that encampment, then that is something the university can do.
But they've already put... Let me just say how we got here. Columbia chose to bring police to clear the encampment. That inflamed the situation to where now you're seeing these protests spread to Yale, to New York University, and beyond. Many people have said that the action of bringing police into a group of people who are already feeling that they are sort of representative of the oppressed, who are inspired by what happened with George Floyd in 2020 and seeing what is happening in Gaza, that has only really acted as a catalyst here. And so I wonder at the wisdom of bringing in the armed police into what is essentially a university campus. To try and resolve
I question the wisdom of having a double standard that says it's okay to shout hateful pro-terrorist things at Jews, but you have to have
no one is endorsing that.
A lot of people are endorsing that. A lot of people aren't condemning it. Yeah, a lot of people aren't condemning it. And I agree with you. Universities and the Democratic Party and the left have a huge problem trying to figure out how to cut this Gordian knot that they've created for themselves. But that doesn't mean I have to sort of condone or not call out. I got a lot of scars from calling out horrible statements on the right over the last 10 years. I call out anti-Semitism and bigotry all the time on the right.
Of course.
I don't hear a lot of that from sort of squad-adjacent type people calling out this stuff on the left.
So, John,
there's a lot to unpack here, but first, I'm Brad Polumbo, and welcome back to Mediaite, your home for commentary and coverage on the intersection of media and politics. So, first things first, the point that Jonah Goldberg makes here in this clip is just undeniably true. Some of the current protesters are pro-Hamas, and if you're pro-Hamas, then you're pro-terrorism, because Hamas is a recognized terrorist group and carries out terrorist attacks like it did on October 7th. Here's a clip from one of the protests at Columbia that clearly is pro-Hamas.
Yo, remember remember the 7th of October! Never forget the 7th of October! That will happen! Never forget the 7th of October! Not one more time! Not 5 more times! Not 10 more times! Not 100 more times! Not 1,000 more times! But 10,000 times! Ready? 7th of October is about to be every day! Every day!
To be clear, it's uncertain whether the individuals in this clip are students or outside agitators who came to campus and joined in the protests. But either way, it's undeniable that pro-terrorism voices have marred the events. And while it's certainly not representative of everyone involved, it's not a total outlier fringe position either. One poll taken just days after October 7th, and actually even before Israel invaded Gaza, found that among 18 to 24-year-olds, an astounding 48% said they sympathized more with Hamas than Israel. The Israel-Palestine conflict is incredibly complex, but supporting Hamas is not. And Jonah Goldberg was right to point out that supporting Hamas is indistinguishable from supporting terrorism. It's really unclear why his co-panelist felt the need to so strenuously object to this basic point, especially because she seemed to just concede it at the end. None of this is to say that one can't support the Palestinian cause, oppose what Israel is doing, doing or even oppose the existence of the state of Israel altogether without being pro-terrorism. Of course you can, and of course many do, but we're also seeing that many activists involved in these campus uprisings don't make that basic moral distinction. And that's absolutely worth every bit of condemnation it received in this CNN segment. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for tuning in and thanks for joining me. Do consider subscribing and sticking around and maybe even turning on those bell notifications. Don't forget to hit that like button and comment with your thoughts below.